It's a tale as old as the modern NFL itself. A team hires a new head coach, filled with optimism and promises of a brighter future, only for things to fall apart. Then, before you know it, that coach is shown the door, with the team once again searching for a new savior. The NFL is a cutthroat business, and head coaches are often the first to feel the sting when things go wrong. But why do NFL teams have such a quick trigger when it comes to firing their head coaches? Is it purely about wins and losses, or is there something deeper at play? Today, we're going to dive deep into this question and uncover the real reasons NFL teams keep firing their head coaches so quickly. The pressure of instant success in the NFL. Let's start with one undeniable fact: the NFL is a results-driven league. More than any other sport in America, the NFL is a win-now business. Unlike baseball or basketball, where rebuilding projects can take years, NFL owners and fans expect immediate success. The moment a head coach steps into a new role, the clock starts ticking. The pressure is immense, and for good reason. The average NFL career lasts less than 4 years, so players and owners alike are eager to make the most of the limited window of opportunity they have. This demand for instant success has become even more pronounced in recent years. We live in a culture of immediacy. We expect things now. We want our food fast, our packages delivered overnight, and our entertainment on demand. This mentality has seeped into the NFL as well. Fans and owners aren't willing to wait 3 or 4 years to see if a head coach's plan will work. They want results immediately, and if they don't get them, the coach is often the one who takes the fall. In fact, the average tenure of an NFL head coach has dropped significantly over the past few decades. In the 1980s, coaches would often be given 5 or 6 years to prove their worth. Today, that number is closer to 3 years, with many coaches not even lasting that long. The NFL is a league with no patience, and that lack of patience starts at the top. The influence of NFL ownership and front offices. Speaking of the top, one of the key reasons head coaches are fired so quickly in the NFL comes down to ownership. NFL owners are some of the wealthiest people in the world, and they're not used to losing. For them, owning an NFL team is not just a business investment, it's a symbol of prestige and power. Losing games, especially in front of millions of fans, damages that prestige. Take Jerry Jones, for example, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Jones is one of the most recognizable figures in the NFL, and he's also one of the most demanding. Since buying the Cowboys in 1989, Jones has been involved in nearly every decision made by the team. He's fired head coaches after just 1 season, and he's never been shy about voicing his displeasure when things don't go according to plan. But Jones is far from the only NFL owner with a quick trigger finger. Over the past decade, we've seen owners across the league grow more involved in the day-to-day operations of their teams. They hire general managers, but they're not afraid to override their decisions or fire coaches if they don't see immediate success. This has led to an increase in the number of coaching changes, as owners seek the next big thing, the next coach who can bring them a Super Bowl. The business side of firing coaches. While the pressure to win is a big reason coaches are fired so quickly, there's another factor at play here as well: money. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar business, and at the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line. Coaches are often fired not just because they're losing games, but because losing games hurts a team's financial prospects. Think about it: when a team is losing, fans stop showing up to games, merchandise sales drop, and TV ratings decline. For NFL owners, this means less revenue. And while a coach's salary may be significant, it pales in comparison to the potential financial losses of a losing season. Firing a coach, even if it means paying out the remainder of their contract, can sometimes be the best business decision an owner can make. It sends a message to the fans that the team is serious about winning, and it can provide a spark that reignites interest in the team. Let's take a look at some numbers to put this in perspective. According to Forbes, the average NFL team is worth around $3.5 billion. For a team like the New York Giants, losing games and missing the playoffs can cost the franchise tens of millions of dollars in lost revenue. In contrast, the average salary for an NFL head coach is between $5 million and $10 million per year. So from a financial standpoint, firing a coach and paying out the remainder of their contract is often a small price to pay compared to the potential losses of continuing to lose games. The media and fan pressure, of course. It's not just owners and front offices who contribute to the quick firing of head coaches. The media and fans play a big role in this as well. In today's social media-driven world, every loss is magnified, and every decision is scrutinized. Head coaches are constantly under the microscope, and it doesn't take long for the narrative to shift from, "This coach needs time to implement his system," to, "This coach isn't the right fit." The media, especially sports talk radio and TV shows, thrive on controversy. They need stories to keep their audiences engaged, and few things are more engaging than the firing of a head coach. Every week, analysts break down every decision a coach makes, questioning whether they should have gone for it on 4th down or called a different play in a critical situation. And when a team starts losing, the calls for the coach to be fired grow louder and louder. Fans, too, play a huge role in this. NFL fans are some of the most passionate in the world, and they're not shy about voicing their displeasure when things aren't going well. Social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook give fans a direct line to team owners and front offices, and many use that platform to demand change when their team isn't performing. This creates a sense of urgency for owners and general managers, who feel the need to appease the fan base by making a coaching change. The disconnect between front offices and coaches. Another key reason coaches are fired so quickly in today's NFL is the disconnect between front offices and coaching staffs. In many cases, head coaches are hired by general managers or ownership groups who have their own vision for the team. But once the season starts, it becomes clear that the coach and the front office aren't on the same page. This happens more often than you might think. Take, for example, a general manager who drafts players based on a certain system or philosophy, only for the head coach to have a completely different idea of how the team should play. This disconnect can lead to frustration on both sides, with the coach feeling like he doesn't have the players he needs to succeed and the front office feeling like the coach isn't making the most of the roster. When this happens, it's often easier for the front office to fire the coach and bring in someone who aligns with their vision than to try and make the relationship work. After all, the general manager is often the one who hired the coach in the first place, and they're not going to fire themselves. The influence of analytics and advanced metrics. In recent years, the rise of analytics and advanced metrics has also played a role in the quick firing of head coaches. Teams are now using data to evaluate every aspect of their performance, from play calling to clock management to player usage. This has led to a more analytical approach to coaching, with many teams hiring coaches who are more in tune with the numbers. But while analytics can provide valuable insights, they can also create unrealistic expectations. A coach may make decisions based on gut instinct or experience, only to be criticized for not following the data. This has led to a growing divide between old-school coaches who rely on their instincts and new-school front offices that prioritize data-driven decision-making. In many cases, this divide leads to tension, and when a team starts losing, the front office may decide that the coach's refusal to embrace analytics is part of the problem. This can lead to a coaching change, even if the coach is still respected by the players and has had success in the past. The role of quarterbacks in coaching changes. Finally, we can't talk about coaching changes in the NFL without discussing the role of quarterbacks. The NFL is a quarterback-driven league, and the success or failure of a team often hinges on the performance of its signal caller. If a head coach can't develop or get the best out of the team's quarterback, he's often the first one to go. Look at teams like the Cleveland Browns or the New York Jets. Both franchises have gone through numerous head coaches in recent years, and a big reason for that is the lack of stability at the quarterback position. When a team drafts a young quarterback with high expectations, they often tie the fate of the head coach to that player's development. If the quarterback struggles, the coach is often the one who takes the blame, even if the problems go beyond just the play of the quarterback. Conversely, coaches who have great quarterbacks often have much longer leashes. Bill Belichick, for example, has been the head coach of the New England Patriots for over 20 years, largely because of the success of Tom Brady. Similarly, Andy Reid has had a long tenure in Kansas City, thanks in large part to the emergence of Patrick Mahomes. Coaches who can find and develop elite quarterbacks are often given much more time to succeed than those who don't. In the end, there are many reasons why NFL teams are so quick to fire their head coaches. The pressure to win, the influence of ownership and front offices, the role of the media and fans, the rise of analytics, and the importance of quarterbacks all play a part in the quick turnover of coaches in today's NFL. It's a cutthroat business, and coaches are often the first ones to feel the heat when things go wrong. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a results-driven league, and if a coach can't deliver results, they won't last long, no matter how good they are. And that's the brutal reality of being a head coach in the National Football League.